back again. That's good. Not many stay this long by the fire. But you're beginning to feel it, aren't you? The shift in the wind, the weight in the quiet, the way the flames seem to flicker with purpose instead of chance. That's no accident. The story's still unfolding, and we've reached its breathless hush. Last we spoke, the aspirants had passed their trials, not by might, but by surrender. Earth, water, fire, air, they did not conquer them. They became them. And in doing so, the path forward opened. They followed it north, though no compass pointed the way. The mists grew thicker. The stars above flickered like uncertain memories. Time slowed. Days passed like seconds, or maybe it was the other way around. What they walked through wasn't land, it was memory, remembrance itself. Kael led with silent certainty, his steps sinking with the tremble of the earth. Lira moved like tide through fog, her breath even, her heartbeat slow. Ashen's warmth lit the cold, a flickering flame in endless twilight. And Nyra, she barely touched the ground, each step a suggestion, not a commitment. They spoke little, words felt clumsy here. Then the fog parted. Before them stood a mountain, not high but wide, like a slumbering beast. Vines covered its surface, and waterfalls slipped down its sides in silver ribbons. No path led up, no door welcomed them. But they knew. This was the Hidden Sanctum. No map marked it. No story ever mentioned it in full. And yet, it had always been there, buried beneath the noise of the world. A place of stillness and of truth, where the first songs of the elements had been sung, where the guardians of balance once knelt in council. The mountain didn't ask for permission. It simply opened. A slit of light cracked the stone face, wide enough for one to enter at a time. As each aspirant stepped through, the entrance sealed behind them. They walked alone once more, but not in isolation. The sanctum had been waiting, and it was ready. Kael entered a hall of stone that pulsed with ancient life. The walls were inscribed with languages that shifted under his gaze, some made of glyphs, others of pressure, of texture, of time. He ran his fingers across them and felt not words, but stories. The rise and fall of civilizations built in harmony with Earth. Then came arrogance. The mines dug too deep. The roots cut too short. And silence followed. He knelt and placed his forehead against the floor. The mountain answered with a low hum, and a path opened before him. Lira swam through corridors filled with suspended water, weightless and still. Inside each droplet, visions played of cities beneath waves, coral towers glowing with song. She saw herself reflected again and again, older, younger, deeper. She swam not to escape, but to remember. A massive sea creature drifted beside her, no beast, but a guardian, ancient and luminous. It didn't speak. It showed her rivers diverted, oceans poisoned, currents shackled, but also healing, renewal, rebirth. So she followed the creature through a narrow channel of blue light. Ashen stepped into firelight, not flame, but its memory. Embers floated through a pitch-dark chamber, each one a flicker of history. He reached toward them and saw a forge lit by stars, firekeepers of old tending sacred flames, not for war, but for warmth. Then towers burning, cities falling, fire turned on itself. And still, the embers remained, unbroken. He inhaled. The air tasted like old smoke and forgotten songs. He sang a single note. The embers stirred and spun, revealing a spiral staircase made of cooled magma. He climbed. Nyra entered wind. Nothing else. A chamber of nothingness, where even thought scattered like dandelion fluff. She had to close her eyes just to feel herself. Then the wind returned, but not to test, to guide. She was lifted upward, a current of memory carrying her through visions of ancient sky dwellers, floating cities, gliding between storms. Then the silence, the winds chained by towers, air thick with smoke, harmony lost to control. She did not cry. She opened her arms and let the wind pass through her. When they reunited, it wasn't in a room. It was in a circle, above the mountain, though no stairs led there. 4 pedestals stood in the air, each pulsing with elemental essence. They were not alone. Around them, translucent figures flickered into view, keepers of the sanctum. Not alive, not dead, more like memory made form. They bowed, not in servitude, but in welcome. One stepped forward. Her body shimmered like glass filled with stormlight. Her voice was like thunder spoken in a whisper. You have walked the paths, faced the trials, heard the songs, but knowledge is not wisdom, and power is not balance. She extended her hand, revealing a small crystal, faceted like a star, pulsing faintly with all 4 elements. This is a seed of the sanctum, not an object, a promise. It must be planted, not in soil, but in choice, in the world you shape. Each aspirant was given one, and as they held them, the crystals responded, glowing brighter, sinking to their breath, their heartbeat, their essence. Then the wind howled. A rift opened in the sky above the mountain. Shadows churned beyond, no longer whispers, but teeth. The sanctum trembled, the keepers turned as one, their forms blurring. The balance is cracking, the storm voice warned. The ancient wound has reopened. The one who fell returns. They did not need to ask who. The darkness they had felt in their dreams, the thing that moved in silence when the elements paused, had awoken, and it knew them. The seed was not a reward. It was a weapon, a hope, a last root clinging to the world's harmony. The aspirants stood at the center of the sanctum, not as students anymore, not even as guardians, but as a storm's eye. They had seen the truth, learned the old names, heard the songs that shaped the world, and now they had to protect it. So if the wind speaks your name tonight, or the flames flicker when no breeze moves, remember, the sanctum still stands, hidden from sight, but never from purpose. Its seeds are in the hands of those who listen, and the storm is coming. That's enough for now. Rest your thoughts, but not too deeply. The elements do not wait for permission, only recognition, because next time I'll tell you what happens when the darkness finally steps forward and the war for balance begins.